So here we are. Yeah, here we are at the Burlington Arcade, London. I am joined by Mr. David Silver, who is Managing Director of the Vintage Watch Company.
Correct.
Yes. How are you, David?
Good. Beautiful day, sunny.
We're celebrating that we're coming out of a lockdown.
Next week we'll be open again, so it's fantastic news for everybody. So
Absolutely.
Can't wait.
People are dying for it.
Yeah.
I can already feel there's a buzz here in the arcade.
Absolutely.
I mean, it looks beautiful with the Christmas decorations.
Absolutely.
And I think we all want to get out and...
Yeah, and London has suffered a little bit this lockdown more, so people have been much more confused. There's no real understanding of what's been going on. I think now we just all want to be back to doing what we can, be careful, but do what we can do, because, you know, it's ready.
We're all ready. And it's 25 years, if I'm not mistaken, that the Vintage Watch Company has been at the arcade. Right?
So, yeah.
What a year. 25 years. So can you give us a little bit of backstory? Your father, yes, exactly. It's a family business.
Family business. So my sister and my father basically started 25 years ago, literally this year, and I probably joined about 16 years ago, so I was doing other things before, but that coincided with our move to the Burlington Arcade. And once we kind of moved here, we came out of the Bond Street Antique Centre in the middle of Bond Street, opened our first store here, and that's where we decided to really push and expand the collection and aim to have the largest vintage Rolex collection in the world.
And it makes sense that it would, Burlington Arcade would be the perfect home.
Yeah.
Because we have 200 years or more than that heritage here at the
Absolutely.
arcade. Then the heritage that you already bring with Vintage Watch Company, and we'll grow from here.
Absolutely.
Your two sons might be running the business.
Who knows?
Who knows?
But
the book is a huge achievement.
Yeah.
And this took how long to write?
Years. If I'm honest. But one of the interesting things was lockdown actually allowed me the time to finally finish it off. So we were still putting final touches, final proofs of this book together in May of this year. So
that's true.
Very,
I remember
very,
coming here, and it was what a push.
You know, that was one of the good things. So I managed to get it out, and it's been very, very well received. I'm absolutely delighted, and I'm very, very proud of the end result.
It is a huge effort, and
and it's kind of realistic. It's everything that people that know the store will understand about us. It's our identity. It's the pieces that have been through the store over the 25 years, and you know, I was kind of fortunate enough to early on recognise the internet, the need for professional photography, the need to show our products online, and that's why that book exists. Without that, then I wouldn't have the imagery. So, you know, the website began.
And even if there's offline activity, we're communicating to people and we're discovering with imagery online.
It's
okay. So amazing that you had that vision set up.
And you know, some of those pieces I will never see again. Than the wider public. So at least I have the images.
And there's also there's stories in here about amazing collectors and famous faces. If I'm not
so obviously, you know, Rolex is the most iconic watch brand in the world, worn by some of the most famous faces in the world, and the history is kind of documented, well known, but amazing for people to see. So. Some imagery people won't be that familiar with. Amazing picture of Picasso, of Elvis Presley, of Jacques Cousteau, professional diver wearing submariner pieces, Martin Luther King, Paul Newman, Andy Warhol, and Steve McQueen, and Marlon Brando. And that kind of sums Rolex up. They are a powerhouse of everything, lifestyle, of passion, I'm extremely passionate about the brand, and everything that Rolex do today excites me as well. I'm not someone that's just obsessed with vintage. I was lucky enough that I chose yellow as the front page of the book, and Rolex released a yellow watch just most recently in September into their collection, and it's kind of gone crazy. So that now whatever comes in the new collection affects the old hugely.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's why when people are coming into the Vintage Watch Company, and having someone like you who's a world-renowned expert, you can give them some background on how this piece is going to increase in value or what it means in context.
Sure, and its history, which is so important. So everything coming out has history, and you know why the watches were made. And Rolex always had some purpose for it. You know, this watch is iconic. It's the Rolex GMT Master. It's the Pepsi with the blue and the red bezel. It was commissioned by Pan Am for their transatlantic pilots in the 1950s. So they wanted their pilots to be able to read simultaneously in the cockpit at night 2 time zones because it was functional. They needed to know the time in London and LA where they were traveling simultaneously, and that's true. And then it was so successful. Rolex made it a production watch and they put it into the collection, and you know the rest, as they say, is history. It was most famously worn by Honor Blackman in golfing. So you know,
you're never gonna get that kind of backstory.
No.
Apart from here at Burlington, which is why we're and with you and some of the other amazing brands and entrepreneurs like yourself in the arcade, and that I think is why we're celebrating right now the Bespoke service and Bespoke offer at the arcade.
Correct. Right. And it's passion, and you can't get passion from purely websites, from pure, you know, at the end of the day, I'm behind this brand 100%. It's my kind of life, so I live it. And everything I promote to other people, I do myself. So if I say to you, this is going to look great on an alligator skin strap, I'm not lying, I'm wearing it myself. Yeah. That's the way to do it.
100%. You know,
I'm buying into it too.
I mean, let's be honest, 2020 has been a kind of hard financial year. I don't know why I say kind of. It has for everybody, and I think we care about what we're investing in, and we've all had this moment, or many of us, where we're looking at what is meaningful, right, and wanting to invest into meaningful pieces. It's not about how much stuff you have. It's about the unique nature of it and what it means to you.
Yeah, and also what luxury means. I mean, you know, we're all in the luxury industry, and in some ways during a period that we've experienced, luxury seems to be a bad word. But actually, certain aspects of luxury are aspirational, and people do need something to strive for, even in harder times, and there is a longevity associated with luxury. And money certainly has come out of other industries that are very volatile at the moment into watches, into other, you know, more stable things. And yes, luxury is actually stable comes through.
I would imagine that the acceleration of certain consumer behaviors would really drive extra business to you. Because there's a legacy part too. I think another common theme out of 2020 is people are thinking about family more and close to home. And with a lot of friends in life and family, the watch is a legacy item that's handed down.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's like all this meaning, right?
Absolutely. And consumerism, so at least a watch is still there in a year's time. You know, you've spent your money, but you've got something to show for it. Otherwise, you know, so I think that's important, and the gifting aspect of that business is key as well, and people like to give something that has meaning and history and can be held onto.
100%. So there's 2 things I want to ask you on that subject. One is, if you're picking out a gift for somebody, and what is sort of the bespoke nature that you should look at when you're looking for a gift coming into Christmas right now?
So for us, it's all based around one theme, which is birth year.
Yes.
You buy a watch from the year that the person you're giving the gift to was born, or treat yourself, obviously, if you want to as well. But then it doesn't kind of stop there. It's nice to engrave a message. It's nice to write something in your own handwriting, to have it transcribed, scanned, and put on the back of the watch.
And this is a service that you offer.
Yes.
So someone can sign their name.
Yeah.
Talk me through it, because I think that's really interesting.
You just would write literally on a piece of paper in the store now when you come in a message that you want to put on the back of the watch, and we will scan it. Some people get their children to write it. It's really special.
Amazing.
Or, you know,
imagine a watch being handed down generations from now, and it has Grandpa's signature on it. And even if you never met Grandpa, it's
very special.
Incredible.
And obviously that's going back to history, because so many watches were engraved in the 1920s and 1930s, you know, and obviously the value of certain, messages.
Certain signatures.
Yeah, have changed enormously.
Didn't Paul Newman's watch just go for a
well, 3 years ago, $17 million, and his another one of his watches is about to come up to auction now. They're all engraved on the back by Joanne and his wife, and they say "Drive carefully, me," and they're very special. And then the kind of Kennedy, Marilyn Monroe theme, all these things. A lot of these watches are engraved. It's very nice and special. And a lot of people ask questions: does it affect value? Well, nowadays engravings come on massively. It's laser engraved. It's very fine. It can be taken away if necessary, and so on. So the value is not diminished by that.
Fantastic. so as we're moving into Christmas and we're coming up to holidays and gifting, so we have watch year, birth year is really important. What else when people are coming in? Just a couple of tips, I suppose, on selecting a watch for somebody.
It's always the same kind of themes for us in terms of individuality is very important, and that's something that the collection that we have offers people the chance to have something that others don't have, or make it unique to you. So do change the straps, do put something colourful, and then
and we can get all the, you can source these.
We keep it all in stock. We have everything made. I'm kind of strap obsessed. All my watches come with an availability of different straps or NATO straps or different options. Even the tail, the ribbon of the book has been designed around a NATO strap. This is in my own watch, which I'm wearing in front of me now. It's, with
and by the way,
bespoke alligator skin strap. So
a strap changes so much.
Totally.
So if you're looking to invest, and again, like meaningful investments, choosing the right watch, and then the sort of bespoke service that you inherently offer.
Yeah. And that can be done on day one when you buy the watch. It can be done 6 months later if you fancy something else. It can be done 3 years later. And people do that the whole time. They keep changing the look constantly.
I think that's something else that's really special is that you have 25 years legacy. You'll be here another 25 years, whatever that looks like, and your two boys, and to know that you're here. So if we're purchasing something from Vintage Watch Company, it can evolve, and the bespoke service doesn't just stop with the purchase; it continues on.
Into the future. All the time. And then there's lots of elements around creating boxes of things, cases of things, collections within collections, and the colored dials, the stellar dials, which was very kind of current, everyone's talking about, are massively rare. And I'm seeking them the whole time and trying to create for people unique collections, and we display them in a way that is unusual.
And you probably have collectors from all over the world who stay in touch with you, and so when you
them all
find
together.
Something that is particularly within the like of a certain collector.
I will contact them occasionally, but it's not often the driver of my business to hound people. I mean, I know where certain things will go and who they'll be destined for sure.
Well, I might have shared this with you before, but I have a Daytona, and my first fiance said to me, I remember this, I don't know, 15 years ago. He said, "I'm going to buy you this watch," and it's a men's watch. I always wear men's watches, and he's like, "You'll never need another watch." Like you can take this, you can wear it, you can wear it black tie, you can wear it on the street during the day. This one will
and long after I'm gone, you'll always have the watch.
And he is right. He is right.
You got rid of him, but you kept the watch.
You're on to me.
Engagement rings get given back, but watches
I did get back the engagement ring.
Wise decision.
Oh, exactly. Well, I think everyone's really excited to come and start doing some offline shopping. After work.
Absolutely. And the Burlington Arcade is kind of a special place. It's very, very close to me personally. I have been here for a very long time, and the shops and stores that keep opening is always changing, it's always evolving. It is a destination in itself. We are a destination store in our own right within the Burlington Arcade, and we're so inextricably linked together that people will remember the Burlington Arcade for our store, and they will remember our store as being in the Burlington Arcade. So we're massively fortunate to be here, and in Mayfair, in London, in the middle of town, accessible. And
do you think that's what do you think makes arcade particularly unique?
It's so intimate. and special, and the unit size allows people to be close enough to the product, which is very important. Certain major high streets like Bond Street, like Sloane Street, have a certain impersonal feel, I would say. Whereas here, people come, they immediately relax, it feels more intimate, it feels historic and special, like you're entering a world that, isn't replicated anywhere else, right? It's a special experience.
And there's so many parts of the arcade that are super unique that people don't know about.
Yeah.
From the boutique
And
upstairs, the private lounges.
For something that's 200 years old, it's very modern. You can come in here and have an amazing coffee. You can have a cortado, a cappuccino, a latte, a mocha. Don't expect that sort of enterprise to be in the arcade, but this is massively successful.
And I think what's really great, particularly recently, I've noticed is that we have pop-ups like Kick Game that are bringing like a younger audience that might not know about the arcade, but certainly appreciate experiential and having experiences that are unique.
Absolutely, and global brands like Manolo Blahnik or Adore or any churches, anyone you wish to choose. But,
it's a considered mix. It's a considered mix. It's a whole experience.
We work well together.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, David.
Pleasure.
Appreciate you taking the time.
It's great fun.
Wonderful. Have a good rest of the day.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.